San Jose State game. It was a great game, man. We started slow. We started sluggish, real on offense and defense. We had to finish strong in the second half, which we knew after halftime. But let me speak on the first half again. Just everybody started slow. I guess we had to adjust to the cold weather or something like that. I guess that was some people's statements. But I felt like everybody started slow, and then we knew what we had to do in the second half, I guess you can say. But second half-wise, we all just came out and fought hard and knew we had to win this game. It was a must-win for us and the team if we wanted to win this WAC championship and get to where we want to be. But overall, I feel like everybody played their butts off in the second half and made some big stops on defense. That was a big plus for us. And Adam Kennedy stepped in and did his job. Turb also, and receiving corps, we stepped up once we started throwing the ball when everybody's name was called. Travis Van Leeuwen, and made some big play calls on Coach Baldwin's part, and it was a great victory for us.
Looking ahead to Idaho, what do you?
Idaho, we just started. We started to watch the film today at 145. I mean, they're all great teams in the WAC conference. Nobody's below average, I feel like, but their record is bad. But I feel like they lost some close games. But they're a good team. I know they have some athletes on the defensive side of the ball. Some great corners that are coming back. We're looking for a fight. We can't start playing in the second half. We have to come out strong and come out with a fight and be physical on both sides of the ball. Our coaches, I'm sure they're going to have a great game plan for us, and we're looking forward to getting this next victory.
Matt, as a receiver, what's the difference between Kennedy and Keaton, the quarterback for you, for how you play?
Either way, they're both great quarterbacks. I guess you can say that Adam is throwing it a little bit more because he's not as mobile. But again, they're both great quarterbacks, and Adam is actually giving us a chance. He's throwing it up, you know what I'm saying, giving the receiver guys a chance, and we're making some big plays for him. Not only him, but for our offense and our team and our fans and everybody in Logan. But again, they're both great quarterbacks, and yeah, that's about it. Oh, no, not at all. It doesn't change what I do at all. I just go out there and play, and once my name is called, my number's called, I'm ready to make a big play for us.
We talked about that after the game when we had you on the radio about Kennedy seems to throw the ball there sometimes when you're covered. Is he more willing to do that, or do they want him to be more willing to do that than with Chucky, or is Chucky more resolute to run when he sees that, or what do you think?
I think Adam's a little bit more mature, but I feel like Adam's just he's comfortable doing it, I guess you could say. He's just actually I could just say he's giving us a chance. I mean, there is double coverage sometimes, and he's throwing it up, but I feel like he has complete confidence in us making the big play like we have done these past couple games. But again, I'm sure he's going to keep doing it. As you can see, it's working. We're winning games and making plays, and yeah, we're successful on that side of the ball.
You didn't play the Idaho game last year, but obviously you were probably there.
Yeah, I was there.
Idaho kind of took it to you guys defensively, and they look like that's the best side of their ball right now. What are your thoughts or remembrances of watching that game?
I remember a good safety there or something like that, but offensively I just feel like it was just another cold game. Both sides of the ball didn't really want to play. I mean, but again, their defensive side is pretty good. They have some athletes, like I said, and we just got to come out and do us. Like we know what we got to do, and once we execute our plays, I feel like we can compete with anybody in the nation. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really up to us. I don't really like look ahead at the defensive. You know what I'm saying? We just got to execute what we got to do, and we'll come out on the successful side.
Because it has been different these last couple of games to have the receivers star as much as the running backs, because everybody was talking about running backs earlier in the year, and sometimes they kind of forgot about you guys a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think they necessarily forgot about us. It was just when our number was called, we just had to make a play. But like you said, yeah, the running game was working big time for us, and it was not a negative at all. I mean, I just felt like we just had to work harder on receivers. We just had to make blocks for us and do big things for their running backs. You know what I'm saying? So just like we're being successful now on the receiver side of the ball. Now they're making key blocks for us. So it can go both ways. But again, whatever's on for us, whether in the passing game or the running game, we both got to work hard and to be a successful offense. And I feel like we're doing that. We're still leading the nation in rushing averages or yards a game or something like that. So offensive side of the ball, we're stepping our game up, and we're slowly moving our ranks up in the passing game too.
I feel like after playing the San Jose game, we started out real slow. I think we really looked at that a lot. Even coming off the field, I don't feel like we was playing as fast as we could. And I think it's the momentum of the game started to change once we started getting comfortable with each series. With defense in the second half, I felt like we were playing a lot faster, and I think I think we've changed to almost a second half team with the way we play in the fourth quarter. With Mike Smith giving us a surge every time we get in the fourth quarter, because we know after the 5 losses that we had, we felt like that was in the fourth quarter that we lost the game. So we were trying to make a new trend out here and to give it all you got in the fourth quarter. And I felt like we did that once again here against San Jose. We're looking forward to playing Idaho next week. We know this is a big game. I think everybody on our team knows the expectation and what we're trying to do. We're trying to win a bowl game. We're not trying to be at a barely making it bowl eligible. We're trying to win the next 3 games with Nevada, New Mexico, and Idaho. But we got to start with Idaho, and I think I know we're gonna practice hard this week. Get ready to prepare for Idaho, because every game you never know what's gonna happen. So with Idaho being a good football team, we got to be prepared for everything. So
you talk about defense starting slow. Is it? You study obviously all week long film and you practice and things, but does it still take you a little while when you really play to see kind of how they do things? I mean, is it always a little easier, do you think, for the offense to start the game and then you guys can kind of, okay, now this is what we got to do, or this is the adjustment we have to make, or whatever?
Yeah, I feel like, we have a scout team out there, and the scout team gives us great looks every week, week in, week out. They give us great looks, and I think that's a real big part of our success on defense. But yeah, I think maybe part of it was just easing into it, but it shouldn't have never took that long for us to ease into the game. I felt like, the first 10 plays, we just watched it on film this morning, and just didn't look like the same Utah State defense that we usually are. And with going out there, getting comfortable, you getting used to San Jose State, yeah, I felt like we should have, got it clicking faster than we should have, but I think there is a difference, but obviously there's a dramatic difference. We don't have the same exact players as San Jose State on the scout team, but they give us a good enough look to where we should be able to go out there and play with all cylinders. So.
Did you have to play against Otten? Some of the game, their tight end, were you?
Yeah, I had a few matchups with him. We played a lot of nickel packages, and I had it's just part of the scheme and everything that they were going to man me up and just put hands on him. That was a big part of the scheme, just getting him uncomfortable.
Because they're the first team that we play a lot that really targets the tight end and really does a lot of things towards the tight end.
Yeah.
But as their primary guy, it looked like to me too.
Yeah, going into film, we knew that he was their primary guy. He was going to give them the ball, especially with the snowstorm and blizzard. Our coaches told us, we got to get ready for him to get the ball a lot, just because it's an easy throw, it's a comfort zone for the quarterback, and we wanted to take advantage of that, manning him up. And you can, from all the calls that we did and I used to watch the game, we tried to really just put hands on him, make him uncomfortable as much as possible.
Were you close to him on that? I mean, I know Gallagher kind of came through him, but were you there too at that play at the end of the game?
I was coming down to it. I was hoping the ball, somewhat get tipped up, or but Gallagher made that play. He made that play there was no need of me out there. I was just trying to, right behind him, make the play right after him if he couldn't make the play. But I knew Gallagher was going to make the play. He's a big part of our defense, and he came in the clutch as usual. So.
He had 2 pass breakups on that final drive.
Yeah, he had 2 good, really, really good pass breakups, and helped my job out, just a lot more, just because, you got to cover the middle of the field, and he's making it a lot harder for that quarterback to try to zing that in there. So it was obviously great defense by Kyle Gallagher.
With everything that happens at halftime, and there are probably adjustments or whatever, but are there guys not getting on the field in the second half because of what's happening in the first halves of these last 2 games?
I'm not sure with that situation. I just know with my position coach and my coaching and everything, we weren't really dwelling on who wasn't in the game, who wasn't supposed to be in the game. We were just trying to, with the halftime adjustments, just play hard. That was really it. There's no, mystery call, magic calls. Usually our coaches said. We just went out there and played harder in the second half. That was it. That was really it.
Coach Anderson said that when the other team's offense gets into the red zone, your defense is doing a better job of communicating.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, we do with the practices that we've been doing, we've been really, harping on red zone defense. We felt like in the past that we weren't good enough to stop, offenses in the red zone. And he's been helping us, telling us, that we need to communicate better. It should be harder for the offense to come in the red zone. I feel like after all the practices in the red zone and different types of things that the offense is trying to do us in the red zone, and we're just really playing harder, I think, in the red zone. Really to be just, it's a want to. It's X's and O's, but it's also a want to that you don't want them to score a touchdown. You gotta. What Coach A always tells us is we gotta bow up. You gotta answer the bell. They're in the red zone, they get a turnover or whatnot, but doesn't mean they gotta score. So that's one of the big reasons. I think a lot of pride. We gotta stop them from scoring in the red zone.
What do you remember from last year's Idaho game up here?
That last year's Idaho game, it was almost like this game. It was snowy, the whole game. But I felt like, with the Idaho game last year, they out-toughed us last year. I really feel like they out-toughed us, and I played a lot actually in that game. And it's almost like a revenge game. It's like we know they're a good football team. Everyone in the WAC is a good football team. I feel like you can't not come ready to play in the WAC. You got to come ready to play every week. And Idaho is one of those teams that you have to get ready to play because they're going to come at you 100%. And I know that we got to go out there and we got to do what we always do: play hard every 4 quarters and win the fourth quarter. That's what we do every game from here on out. We win the fourth quarter. We're going to try to win the fourth quarter.
Communicating more in the red zone. Can you speak to other things that you guys are doing to help you get better as a group?
I think one thing is just watching film. A lot of film also helps, in the red zone. Just, what they like to do in the red zone, especially with the big tight end in San Jose State. They like to go to him in the red zone. I think he's like 6'6" or something like that. And we really wanted to concentrate on making the calls right, maybe dropping down here and there, or maybe just be giving pressure, But I think a lot of it helps on our red zone defense in the past, and right now it's just film. We watch a lot of film on red zone. We want to know where they want to go at, and I think just as a safety, we try to remind the secondary, like, hey, this is what they like to do in the red zone. Hey, we gotta look at our keys. You know what I'm saying? Just to remind ourselves and why. What they like to do in the red zone, and just keep repetitively just reminding yourself that we gotta look at our keys even more in the red zone, because that's when they like to get us on a fake or something like that. But our red zone defense is getting a lot better from the past.
When it comes to Idaho, they're struggling in their passing game. Do you believe this is a special opportunity for you as defensive backs to show what you can do? Challenge-wise, is it similar to what you faced all season long?
I mean, I feel like with Idaho's passing problems, I think it's gonna make we should be able to do what we have to do on defense to stop them from, not gonna stop every throw, but I mean we gotta take advantage of that they're not playing as well in passing game, but we're gonna keep doing what we always do. We're gonna game plan against Idaho. We're gonna figure out what their weaknesses and their strengths are, and try to get the right game plan to execute against Idaho. Because like I said earlier, this is still a good football team. You never know within the WAC, and we just got to come ready to play. And that's why I think one of the big things is this week we got to have an edge, a real edge, sharp edge, that we're ready for Idaho. Because like I said last year, I don't feel like we was ready to play against Idaho last year, and they out-toughed us, and we can't have that. We can't allow that to happen this week. Force more interceptions. Well, I mean, the easier way is to catch the ball when it hits you. But I think it's just us putting. We gotta. I feel like it's definitely us players. We gotta put ourselves in a better position to get interceptions. Because I know we're really struggling on that in the secondary. But I feel like we're gonna come around sooner or later. We gotta come around and get some interceptions. I really believe that. And especially as a safety, you gotta catch one. You're only gonna get one shot. It feels like a game, and you gotta take advantage of that shot. But I think as a secondary, we're gonna improve on that this week with turnover margin.
With the San Jose State game, throughout my career here, I've come to realize that a win can never be a bad thing. A win, gotta celebrate a win. With that said, as we look back on the film and reflect on that day, there's a lot of things that this team has improved on, but still needs to further improve on. If we play with the same kind of energy, emotion, and mentality we opened up that game with in any of our other games, we will lose. And we cannot do that. It's up to us to change that. We will change that. I personally will try and do whatever I can during the week and on game day to change those type of things. But without being too negative, I'm really proud of my players for 2 weeks in a row in the fourth quarter, coming together, doing what we needed to do, amping up our energy, getting that a new fourth quarter mentality that is really exciting and hasn't been around here for as long as I've been here. Looking forward to the fourth quarter in every game now. And as we head into Idaho, I know there's going to be a great scheme like there is every week. I don't have to worry about that. My focus is on getting my fellow teammates mentally prepared and to go into Idaho knowing it's going to be a battle. Because Idaho, every year I've played them, I've really felt like Idaho is a reflection of us and where the programs are both at. And so it's always going to be a battle. It doesn't matter where they're at in their season. They're not going to let us win. And so it's going to be a huge battle. And I got to make sure all my teammates realize that. And so our mentality is correct. And we have high energy and we have fun and we play hard. And so that's where I'm at.
Alfred talked a little bit about this game being a revenge. Do you see it that way too for what they did here last year to you guys?
I mean, each season you're going to have those games where you remember what happened last season and you kind of want to get back at them. But for me, it's about moving forward. We need to win this game to get where we need to go with our goals. So for me, maybe not so much about revenge, but just plain old just taking care of business and moving forward, going forward. And so getting 5-5, that's huge. In my whole career here, I've never had 5 wins. So that's more important to me than winning for revenge, moving forward.
So this game's a little different in the fourth quarter because you have your little meeting and then they scored twice that kind of take maybe a little of that steam out. Are you kind of grateful to how the guys responded after that?
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
Or did you feel like, hey, that could have taken away from the huddle at the start of the fourth quarter?
I mean, it certainly could have taken away, and I was surprised that they scored. I mean, because with that fourth quarter mentality, it's like it almost feels like we're untouchable. Of course, we're not, obviously. But yeah, it could have taken away. But then the way the guys respond, I mean, we just got that mentality in there that needs to go throughout the game. But got that mentality that like we're going to overcome this. We're going to get back. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We got this. We got this. And so I'm very proud of my boys on how they responded and kept your energy up. So
now you played a lot of plays, but all of us noticed only one play that you really made in the game, which was a huge play. So, I mean, that kind of shows that whatever is going on in the game, you make one really good play and it can make a big difference in the game. I guess that's what it shows.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can look throughout any football game and there's going to be like maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 plays that really stand out. Each play on their own is important, but there are those plays that kind of change the game, change the momentum of the game, change all that stuff. So I mean, it is a huge play. I've been around the game. I know it is what it is. It was a huge play, and whether it was me making the play or somebody else, I'm just glad that play got made because we needed that. We definitely needed that. So.
How Gallagher had 2 huge plays on that final drive. Talk about his 2 pass breakups, including the one down at the 25.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I saw. Like, I came off the edge. I was rushing the quarterback inches away from getting to the quarterback, and I saw the ball going downfield. I saw the receiver grab it, and then as he was coming, like, when he grabbed it, my heart sank. I was like, no. And then as he was coming down, I saw Kyle punch it out, and I was so happy. I ran up to Kyle and headbutting him and, you know, all that fun stuff. But, yeah, it was huge. I didn't get to see the other ones, but, I mean, Kyle Gallagher, I mean, I would go into battle with him if it's on a football field or if it's in a street fight. You know, 2 versus 100. That guy is an amazing teammate. He played with a broken hand for most of the game. He was the toughest guy I've ever met in my life. And so him playing like that and doing the things that he did, it makes me really grateful to be a part of this team and, you know, be his teammate and to get to be a part of it. Definitely.
Anything else for Levi?
Questions? Okay. Obviously a tremendous victory. Another great job by the young man and continually fighting and finding a way to be able to win the game at the end. And 2 weeks in a row they've been able to do that. So tremendous credit to them, not just for the last 2 games, but again, I say it, for the whole season of sticking in there, fighting, grinding, understanding what it takes. Players make plays, players win games, and it took place again, and I'm very, very proud of them. It's great to see smiles on their faces, and you know, we'll see where this takes us. We'll see where this carries us as we move forward. So overall, I thought we started slow. You know, don't exactly know why, but we need to start a little bit faster, take advantage of opportunities that present themselves. You can't have 5 turnovers to 1 turnover and a kickoff return for a touchdown. I would challenge somebody to go into the stat world and find out the last time a football team won when the turnover margin was 5-1 and they had a kickoff back for a touchdown returned against you. You were going to have to look at a lot of football games. So somebody can find that. That would be awesome. So let's see where it goes. It's a learning moment for our kids to understand that, yes, they did play hard. Yes, they did win the football game, but you know, those opportunities are not going to knock very many times with a W on our side if we let those kind of things happen to us. So, but it took place. We got the victory. Great effort overall. You know, defensively, made a couple big plays. The run game was very good for the day as far as the run defense. I thought they did a nice job overall. Pass, we knew going into the game that it was going to be not a bunch of shots down the field. We thought they would take a couple shots into man coverage, which they did. You know, they got us one time on a wheel route with the tight end. They did a nice job of executing on that play and did a nice job and made a big play against it. But, you know, overall it was fairly solid and a great victory special teams wise. You know, we still shoot ourselves in the foot, obviously. Can't give up a kickoff return for a touchdown. I thought our kickoffs were up in the air longer. They were better. No question. It gave us a chance to cover better in those situations. But you can't give up a big one. Kickoff return, Chuck Jacobs definitely added some positives to that. And with Kerwin not being quite 100%, Chuck came in and I thought did a nice job. And Chris Harris is always solid back there doing what he does. So that was a good thing. Not a lot of opportunities to punt, but you know, just missed the field goal, which was huge. It's a chip shot. It's a great snap. It's a great hold. It's protected well. You got to make it. So you know, it is what it is. So we have to improve in that area overall. So this week, this football game is going to be just like many football games that we've played all year long, I believe. Idaho's played, you know, they played well. Virginia right down to the wire. You know, Hawaii right down to the wire. It sounds very familiar as far as what Idaho's gone through this year. They're a physical team. I think they run very well on the defensive side of the football. They want to run the football and be consistent. You know, so it's these two teams understand that they're going to fight extremely hard against each other. So, you know, Rob will have them ready. Coach Axe will have them ready. But I think more importantly, the kids from Idaho will be ready. They're going to play hard. They play hard every game that you see them out there on the football field. And so this will be a tremendous challenge for us. It's at their place, and we'll have to play very well to have an opportunity to win the football game.
Will you do anything different this week, like practice indoor to prepare for the Dome?
No, we won't do anything different. We'll if the weather takes us inside, we'll go inside, and then we might say that, yeah, we're going in here to get ready for the Dome. But right now, no. We're just going to practice wherever we got to practice, and we'll go outside today and battle away. But the Dome's nice. It's a football field inside, so it's not a big issue at all as far as breathing or what have you. The time when we were up there, it was good.
It seems like the biggest thing in the Dome that I notice is kicking. Kickers can kick the ball farther in there, it seems like.
Good.
I
didn't know that. I'm going to go with you on that one. Yeah.
That to you?
I don't know. I don't remember that from the last time that we were in there, but yeah, Ulinski bombed them. So that would be a positive for us, no question, if we could get in there.
Kick field goals in there, kickoffs, all that kind of stuff. It seems like.
We'll find out. Hopefully, it swings towards us.
Are you going to be at Rice on Friday?
At Rice? Oh, my boys' game? No. I get. I wish I could, but it just doesn't work out right now. It doesn't work out time wise, and my first and foremost is take care of my job. So we gotta get these kids ready to play this game, and it's a big game for us. And my boys knew that when we all signed up for this. They all knew that there was good things and bad things. And I've been lucky this year. I've been able to be quite a few of their games and be able to see them play, and they understand that, and Mama understands that, and so do I. So if something changes and we can get an airplane a little later, then maybe we'll do it. But right now, I don't plan on being there.
How much does the way Idaho play reflect the personality of Coach Akey?
Oh, I think a lot. I think they play with energy and excitement, and Coach Akey is always going to be excited and energetic, and he loves his kids, and that's why Rob and I have probably stayed fairly close over the years, is because we have a lot in common in coaching and the things that we believe in. So, but I think they reflect him pretty good.
On Broncos pregame show, he talked about all the things that happened in that period of time at NAU, and guys were coming and going, and he ended up at Oregon State after just being there a little bit of time. And he said you and Akey took over his apartment or something. Is that?
Yeah. We that was some wild times. We lived in there for a while. I lived in Broncos basement. We lived all over the place. But Rob and I basically got into there at the same point, and Bill did too. We all kind of tagged along and made no money, so we slept next to a furnace or wherever we could at that point, and we're very happy about it. And then Bronco took off, and at that point Bronco went to Oregon State, and so we kind of had Bronco's place there for a minute. So I think he still charges rent, though, and he charges quite a bit, if I remember right. So.
How much of an impact do you believe Cowan and Farquhar, kicker and punter, will have in this game? Those guys have had great seasons.
They have, and they've been good for a long time, and they'll be factors. So we've been in some games this year where the ability for the punters to be able to put the ball and get us in some bad spots has been successful. So that'll be definitely their mindset again, I'm sure. So they'll be a key factor. I would say, I believe we know what we're going to get out of Idaho's kickers, and don't really feel that way about ours. So I'm more concerned about how our kickers are going to perform and what they're going to do and the consistency that they can bring in one football game, let alone stacking football games back to back at this point. And that's we all know that's a concern. And we're at the point of the season where you have to address things aggressively, in my opinion, and not hide from them. And that's their kickers have been very consistent, and ours have not been, and so that's a concern.
They've got this two-quarterback thing going on right now. What do you see on film from that? I mean, they've started the younger kid, even though the older guy still maybe has better stats. It looks like he might throw it a little bit better. Yeah,
it's interesting. It kind of goes back and forth, and who knows where they're going to go. The offense doesn't drastically change. It's probably a lot like they're looking at our guys this year. Who's going to play? Is it going to be Adam? Is it going to be Chucky as we go through the week? Who knows? But our offense doesn't drastically change because of one guy or the other. So there's some tweaks here and there, and I see them both possibly playing, and we're preparing for both quarterbacks. But it's not really flipping our game plan around upside down to this point. We're just at this beginning of it.
What are you doing today about Gallagher, Keaton, McClinton, and Williams turning to their status this week?
Gallagher will play. I promise you. You're not going to keep him out of a football game. So he's that kid's unbelievable, and his toughness, and he's in his senior year, and he knows it. So he'd probably go without a hand for the rest of his life if he could play one more football game. So he'll play, and I believe he'll play well. He's a very tough-minded young man, and the doctors will obviously say yes or no at the end, but I think that they feel like he'll be there. Kerwin, I expect Kerwin to be back. We just really kind of rested Kerwin as we went through the game, and he wasn't quite 100%. I expect him to be there. Walter is still a question mark, and we should know more on Chucky, and hopefully Chucky becomes involved in practice, if not today, tomorrow. See how he goes.
What do you see from Kama Bailey?
Which numbers? I only know numbers at this point.
Isn't it 20?
I remember 8.
8.
Oh, the guy, running back / wide receiver.
Yeah, he had the big game against San Jose.
Yeah, he's all over the place, and in fact, we just got done watching film on those guys, and a lot of times he's in the backfield, and a lot of times he's out there at wide receiver. He does both very well, and causes a matchup problem because you have to count him as a wide receiver, or you're going to count him as a running back at different times. So, Axe will do a great job of using him and putting him in a position to be able to make plays. But he's a talented young man at both spots, and has had some big plays throughout the year. Is he the one that had the big run against BYU too?
No,
that was number 20, wasn't it? Yeah. 20 had the
20 had the long run.
88-yarder, but 8 ran it against the big play against San Jose that sealed the deal. Right? Yeah. Both good backs, explosive young men.
Coach, walk us through what you're thinking after the third consecutive turnover. What's your mindset and
my mindset? I probably shouldn't say that on right here, right now. What was going through my mind and the words that were wanting to come out of my mouth, not real good. It was a tough, unbelievable would be one word that would come out of my mouth that I could say that we consistently, let that take place 3 times in a row, and all very different. Kind of how you look back at the way that the 5 games when we've struggled at the end. It's not one guy, it's not one situation. You can say it's Stanley, but it's 3 different ways in that setting, which is so unbelievable. And then I sat back and you look at Stanley, who's given so much to this program, and it means so very, very much to him, and the ability to keep fighting back and get himself back in there was at that point when we did win the game, and Stanley was still heartbroken at the end of that game, even though we won, of how close it was, because he would have put all that right on his shoulders. So after it was all over with, I was relieved, but while it was taking place, it was a little bit interesting.
You talked a lot about bend but don't break. Would you attribute that to your red zone defense?
Prior to this season, that is a term on defense that kind of made the hair on the back of my neck rise up, but that it's a little bit of who we are right now. It's a little bit of who we need to be. We were down there for 6 snaps the one time. We played for 3 snaps, get a PI, and they were down there for 3 more snaps. And our red zone defense is better. The one we gave the touchdown on is surprising, I would say, that took place. They could have executed and still got it. I'm not saying that, but we made a mistake and should not have made a mistake on the defensive front on that touchdown early. But the kids, they're playing hard in that setting, and bend but not break at times is kind of who we are. We're a little bit more aggressive in this game than we have been for the last week or two, and sometimes it worked out, and sometimes it didn't work out so well. But I would expect more of the same this week as we move forward. But we have to take some chances. We have to get people off pace at times, and they're still way up there in the league in a lot of the standings, and still can't put a price tag on that as far as trying to build a quality defense for this year. And as you move on in the future, we'll say it again, not a stat guy, but it does matter when you're trying to build that stuff up for kids to be able to visualize and actually see something and have a foundation of this is what it takes.
With the punt returners, you've been mixing it up a lot in that position. Are you looking for consistency out of that position, or are you just playing that depending on the situation?
Well, it really depends on the punter that we're facing, and as crazy as that sounds, we've been a little bit inconsistent at times, and it's cost us a couple times. Once, I guess you could say once a game, if you will, and another time another great opportunity to possess the ball, and some situations have arose. So right now, if we want to just go back and catch it and get back there, Stanley and Eric are our guys, and I have great faith in both of them. They both had a challenge back there, but we all have challenging lives, and they'll fight through that, and they're our most reliable kids to be able to catch the punt I love them and believe they're going to catch it.